Yo, how's it going everyone? It's B-RAD the man, and today we're going to be doing another ranking video. We're going to rank every Treyarch Call of Duty Zombies perks from worst to best. We'll be going over each perk from World at War to Black Ops Cold War, though some perks that have been in the majority of the games will be lumped into one overall perk, and for the Cold War Zombies perks, we'll be taking the base perk and not the different tiers. Now, if you end up liking this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. A small percentage of you who watch my videos are currently not subscribed, so if you could, that'd be great. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. Also, there's still time for you to fill out a bracket for my Zombies Map tournament. Link is in the description below. From there, you can fill out a bracket and either send me the link or a screenshot in the comments, or by sending it to me on Twitter. That link is also in the description below. Now with that said, let's hop into it. Alright, so we're on tiermaker.com, and the way that we're going to be ranking it, I have it right now: God tier, amazing, good, meh, trash, and fun but useless. I kind of figured God tier and amazing, these are the perks that you're mostly going to run on whatever map. Good and meh, those are the perks that are either, if you get them in Perk-a-Cola, or if they're like extra perks that you can buy, those are probably going to be the perks that you will take, but they're not going to be your original ones to get. Trash is for the absolute worst, and fun but useless, I think it's just kind of speaks for itself. It's a fun perk to use, but you will never ever run it unless you actually just get it in like a Perk-a-Cola or something. And in case you're wondering why all these other extra perks are here, I don't know why they're here. You'll have to ask Emil Sky Z on that one right there. So we have every perk all the way from World at War to Cold War, starting with Quick Revive, and we'll end at Elemental Pop here. So the first perk that we're going to look at is Quick Revive. Now, Quick Revive is a perk that is pretty self-explanatory at this point. I think this is the only perk that has been in every Call of Duty Zombies since the very beginning. So basically, if you're playing on solo, it just gives you more chances to live, or gives you extra lives. On multiplayer, it gives you more, or helps you revive teammates faster. And other hand, I think once we got into World at War, I'm sorry, when we got to Black Ops 4 and Cold War, it helped you regen health faster. So Quick Revive, a lot of uses to it, a lot of things that it is good for. I am going to put this in amazing. Again, it's a very good perk to have, but if you're playing a multiplayer, it's pretty useless, which kind of takes it down from amazing, or God tier, to amazing. Yeah, it's a great perk, but and it's a necessary perk, especially on solo, but it's just short of God tier in my opinion. Next we got Jug. Jug has been in every Call of Duty Zombies except for Black Ops 4. This is essentially the top of crutch perks. It just gives you extra health. So it's very, very helpful. It basically allows you to take more swipes from zombies than what you would have without it. Again, this is the crutch perk. This is the perk that everybody uses all the time. It is in the God tier. I don't think there's any question about that. Next we got Speed Cola. Speed Cola has been in every Zombies game except for Black Ops 4. Speed Cola just helps you reload your gun faster, and it helps you rebuild barriers faster. Speed Cola is a necessary perk. It's one of the OG 4. I'm going to put it in amazing. It is a very, very good perk, and it's one that I think a lot of people will run if necessary, but this is also one of those perks that if you had something better, you're probably not going to run it. It's, like I said, it's an amazing perk. I think that's where it goes. Double Tap 1. Double Tap 1 was in World at War through Black Ops 1. Basically, it just helps you shoot ammo faster. That is essentially all it is used for in that. This is a perk that if you only have 4 perks to pick, obviously you're going to take Double Tap 1. but if there's something better, you're not going to be running it. So that's why I'm going to put it in meh. It's a good perk, nothing wrong with it, but it's not one that is going to be gotten right away in terms of anything else. Stamina Up. So Stamina Up is been in every game except for World at War, introduced in Ascension. Basically, it just helps you run faster. Stamina Up is a very, very good perk, and honestly, in my opinion, it's probably my second favorite perk of all time, because it's very, very helpful if you're training. So Stamina Up, I'm going to actually put in God tier. I think it is a very necessary perk, especially when you get into Black Ops 4 and Cold War, because you're just going to be running around constantly. So I'm going to put Stamina Up here in God tier. PhD Flopper, this was only in Black Ops 1, and I guess it was in Grief mode for Mob of the Dead, and there's a perma perk in Buried, but whatever. PhD Flopper essentially just gives you, it makes you immune to splash damage and fall damage, and when you dolphin dive, you can actually create an explosion around you and cause more damage to the zombies. It is the perk that everyone loves. People have been clamoring for it pretty much the entirety of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. It's an amazing perk, and I am actually going to put it ahead of Quick Revive. It is a necessary perk if you are going to be running Mustang and Sally's, or a rocket launcher, or even just having grenades. You can cook it longer and throw it at them. It's an amazing perk, and I think that everyone would be in agreement of that. Next we got Deadshot Daiquiri, or it could be Deadshot Dealer. I'm going to count it as both. It's been in every game from Black Ops 1 to Cold War. Basically, it just helps you aim better at the zombie's head. So it's a headshot perk. Deadshot Daiquiri is a useful perk, but it is not a perk that you are going to be grabbing right away. I think that the obvious example is when you're playing Mob of the Dead, you have 5 perks. Deadshot is usually the one that's not picked. It's not a bad perk, but it's not one that I'm going to be taking immediately, and I'm going to put it in meh. Again, it's a good perk. It's just, actually, I'll leave it in good. I'll leave it in good. It's a good perk. It's just not one that you are going to be grabbing immediately. And if you get it, cool. If not, whatever. Mule Kick has been in every Call of Duty Zombies other than World at War. It was introduced in Moon and then got implemented into the other maps. And it also has not been in Cold War yet. Mule Kick essentially just gives you a third gun. You spend $4 grand on it and you get an extra gun. And I think in Black Ops Cold War, in BO4, if you get Mule Kick and you put it in your modifier, if you would happen to down, you can pick Mule Kick again, and then you can get your gun back. So that makes it a lot more useful, but unfortunately that's only in Black Ops 4. So Mule Kick is a good perk to use if you are trying to level up guns or anything like that, but otherwise it's not very helpful. It's just a meh perk. I think if you were to get Mule Kick, people are not going to be overly excited about it, but they're not going to be absolutely disappointed in it either. So that's why I'm putting it in meh. Double Tap 2, the better version of Double Tap 1. Double Tap 2 basically does the same thing as Double Tap 1, except it just causes more damage. For every bullet you shoot, it basically does the damage of 2. And this was introduced in Black Ops 2, and it was in Black Ops 3, and we have not seen Double Tap 2 since. And honestly, Double Tap 2 is my personal favorite perk of all time, just because I like to have that extra damage, and I probably run bullet guns more than I should. This is a god tier perk in my opinion, and I'm going to put it right there. If I were to rank this in my own personal opinion, I would probably do that. But obviously Jug is not going to not be number one. Double Tap 2 is one of the best perks of all time. I don't think anyone can really debate that. Tombstone has been in only one Black Ops 1 map, and I'm not counting like all the extra ones like Town and Farm and Dust Bus Depot and all that crap. This is just going to be on Transit, and it is also now on Black Ops Cold War. Essentially, if you happen to down and you don't want to have the person revive you, you can pick up your tombstone after if the person survives, and then you can essentially go get your stuff back. And on Cold War, it basically works like Who's Who, which I will get to in a second here. But Tombstone is an absolutely useless perk. Basically, I think Tim Hansen's pretty much explained it as such. It just gives you, like, if you die, it just gives you like a little incentive, but it doesn't really do anything much. It's not a good perk. I wouldn't recommend running Tombstone, not even in Cold War. It's just not a good perk. Like it saddens me that they had a chance to make it right in Cold War, and I don't really think they have. Who's Who is exclusive to Die Rise in Black Ops 2. And essentially its ability is you spawn, if you would happen to down with Who's Who, you can attempt to revive yourself again. You have to revive yourself with your starting pistol and nothing else. Who's Who is a absolute useless perk and probably the worst perk of all time. I would think the majority of players would agree with that. This is just an absolutely trash perk. Electric Cherry introduced in Mob of the Dead, and then it was in Black Ops 3 and essentially Black Ops 4 with Electric Burst. I'm actually going to probably rank these two together. So basically all it does is it just, when you reload your gun, you essentially just emit electric burst around you, and if it's any zombies that are around you, you can stun them, or it'll stun them. It's a good perk, but honestly, in my opinion, it's probably one of the most overrated perks, just because it doesn't really save you that much. I'm gonna actually put this in meh, and I'm gonna put Electric Burst just behind it. Again, not a bad perk, but it's not the best. I don't understand why people hype it up so much. Vulture Aid, literally only on one map on Buried in Black Ops 2. It essentially works as 3 different perks. It gives you a green mist when you kill a zombie that you can hide in and make them go away. It allows you to pick up points and bullets off of the ground after you kill zombies, and it helps you see perks, wall buys, and everything through the walls. Vulture Aid is pretty much the equivalent of a good perk in Black Ops, or in Black Ops 2. Very good perk, but not anywhere near amazing. And actually, now that I kind of think about it too, I'm questioning Deadshot. I actually am gonna put it back in meh. I don't know why I'm doing this now, but Deadshot, again, it's just a whatever perk. Widow's Wine. The only new perk introduced in Black Ops 3 and hasn't been seen since. Widow's Wine, essentially, it's a ultimate crutch perk. If you are trapped, any zombie that hits you, it shoots a web around you and essentially freezes, makes them stick in their place. It is a fantastic perk in my opinion, and I will put it in the God tier section. I will put it, if I'm going to be objective, I think it's going to probably be here. In my personal opinion, I would probably put it there, but if I'm being objective, I'm going to put it just behind Jug in God tier. It is probably the best perk ever made, opposite of Juggernaut, because this essentially helps you with surviving. The only thing that I have that I don't enjoy about Widow's Wine, if you are doing an Easter egg and you need to hold a zombie and you don't have, if you have this perk, you essentially need to throw your grenades right away, because otherwise there's a chance that the zombie will die and the round will start over. Honestly, that's probably the one knock that I have against this. It just kills zombies too well, and again, if you're running the Easter egg and you need to hold a zombie, Widow's Wine can kind of cut that plan in half. So that's why I would probably put it, that's the only knock that I have of Widow's Wine. Now hopping into Black Ops 4 perks. Now these perks are essentially just in Black Ops 4. Again, we've already rated Electric Burst. Time Slip. I'm not going to go over the modifiers to all these just because some of them are not really that beneficial. But Time Slip is the best perk to have if you're very impatient. It reloads your equipment quicker. It reloads your specialist faster, and it helps you spin the box quicker. So it is essentially kind of a knockoff version of Speed Cola, but it's not as good as Speed Cola. I'm gonna put this in good behind Vulture Aid. If it were me personally, I'd put it here because I run Time Slip more often than not in Black Ops 4. But if I'm being objective, it's a good perk, but it's not an amazing perk. You can easily get away without running it, but that's essentially what it is there. Dying Wish is essentially the new crutch perk of Black Ops 4. Essentially, if you were to happen to get trapped, instead of downing you right away, it gives you a 9-second chance of getting out of the situation. Dying Wish is, again, the crutch perk of Black Ops 4, but it's just short of short of God tier. So I'm gonna put it in Amazing behind PhD. Actually, no, I'm gonna put Dying Wish ahead of it. Basically, it just gives you a chance to keep your lives. It's a great perk, and I think it's up there. I think it's in the Amazing tier. Victorious Tortoise is the Shield Lovers perk. Essentially, if you have Victorious Tortoise and you have a shield, if you are trapped, you can basically place an entire shield around you, and then once that shield breaks, it creates kind of a mini explosion that basically knocks the zombies. Either, I don't know if it kills them or if it's just knocks them down and helps you with a chance to escape. I'll be honest, I never run Victorious Tortoise. I know a lot of people swear by it, but I'm not a huge fan of Victorious Tortoise, but I'm going to put it in the good category. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't really find any use for it. But that's just my personal opinion. I think good is a good section for it. Stone Cold Stronghold is the Campers perk. Basically with this perk, it just creates a ring around you and helps give you more shield and more damage. But once you leave that ring, it all disappears until you stand in place again. Honestly, Stone Cold Stronghold, there's really no great camping spots for it for Black Ops 4. The only time that I would ever run Stone Cold Stronghold is if I'm doing the camping strat in the alley in Blood of the Dead. But really, that's about all there is to it. I personally don't like it. I don't think it's not the worst perk ever, but it's still trash because you're never going to run this perk unless you're somehow camping. But I don't see any other viable options for like camping in Black Ops 4, so I'm putting it in trash. I'm sorry to any campers that love Stone Cold Stronghold, but that's just my personal opinion. Bandolier Bandit. This one is a good ammo perk. It essentially just gives you more ammo in your mag. I think in the modifier perk, it helps you give more ammo over time in your reserve gun. This is another good perk. I am actually going to put it here. I'm going to put it in good. Again, it's a very good perk to have. It's just not one of the perks that you're going to be running every day or all the time. If you have it, like if you pop Perk-a-Cola, you're golden, but that's about all I really got for that. Death Perception, basically it just allows you to see zombies through walls. It's just a knockoff version of WaW-CW, except without seeing the perks or anything like that. You just see zombies through walls. Yeah, that's about what I feel about Death Perception. It is, if you have it, it's not a bad thing to have, but it is probably the most useless perk in Black Ops 4, in my opinion. I don't like it. It's just a whatever perk. Like, I'm never gonna run this by itself. If I get in Perkaholic, okay, but honestly, there are days that I get it and I'm just sitting there going, whatever. So I'm putting it in trash. I think that's, I might get a little bit of hate for that one, but I really don't care that much. This is kind of just my initial thought on that. PhD Slider, it essentially works the same as PhD Flopper, with the exception, I don't think it makes you immune to fall damage. But it makes you immune to explosive damage, and basically instead of doing the dolphin diving and creating a explosion around you, it just works when you're sliding, and it can either kill or knock over zombies that are in your sliding way. I don't think anybody ever uses the sliding part, but the explosion part makes it viable. And everyone will say that PhD Slider is the absolute knockoff version of PhD Flopper. And I think the reason that it gets more hate in Black Ops 4, I think it's because there's really no good explosion weapons other than the Hellion Salvo. Because no one's ever running the Welling with it. Really, the Hellion Salvo is the only thing that is really good with it. Well, I mean, I guess the ray gun too, but no one ever grabs the ray gun in Black Ops 4. I'm inclined to put it, I still want to put it in Amazing, because honestly, this is a perk that I run all the time. Just because I either go for the ray gun or the Hellion Salvo. But it's not one that should go in Amazing. I'm going to put it in Good, begrudgingly, honestly. It's a good perk, but it's not one that a lot of people run. But for me personally, I use this all the time because I like to run the rocket launcher more than anything else. Ethereal Razor, basically this one gives you a bigger distance of stabbing, and it gives you more stabbing damage. So if you're running the Bowie knife, it can last longer. Or if you got the Golden Spork on Blood of the Dead, it can basically help kill zombies longer if you're stabbing. This is a good perk to have if you happen to get like cornered and you just need to kill quickly. Of course, no one really ever runs the Bowie knife in Black Ops 4, but it's good for the Golden Spork. And this is probably one of the most underrated perks in Black Ops 4. But it's not one that everyone's going to essentially run all the time. I'm going to put this in... I put it in Amazing or Good. I'm going to put it in Good, and I'm going to put it there. It's a perk that if you end up running, you're not doing anything wrong by running the perk. It's, again, a very fun perk to use, a very good perk to use. But I don't think it's one that everyone's going to be running immediately. They're going to be running Quick Revive or Dying Wish or Stamina. It's just not one that's going to be picked all the time, but this is one that is good, and I do recommend you guys giving it a shot if you have not yet. Blood Wolf Bite. Essentially, this one just gives you a giant wolf named Luna. It essentially just kills everything in its path, and I think in the modifier it essentially kind of works like WaW-CW, where it drops like ammo and points and whatnot, or maybe it's just ammo, I'm not entirely sure. See, this one is difficult for me because Obviously, its effectiveness is good, but if you were to run Dying Wish, or if you were to run Blood Wolf Bite, excuse me, if you were to run this perk and you're doing the Easter egg and you need to hold a zombie, this perk absolutely kills. Because it's most likely going to kill everything and you're going to have to essentially start the round over. So this perk is honestly, in my opinion, if I were being more objective or not subjective, I would put it here. But its effectiveness is good, and I'm going to put it in meh. Again, if you're playing the high rounds, this is a great perk to have. But if you're doing Easter eggs, this is like the worst perk to grab. Winter's Wail is essentially the knockoff version of Widow's Wine. If you're trapped, it essentially freezes zombies in their place if they hit you too much. But yeah, that's really about all there is on that. It's really all about... It's essentially Widow's Wine, but just freezes people freezes zombies instead of exploding around them and killing them. This is a perk that I actually run all the time, especially for Easter eggs, because having them being frozen instead of dying to an exploding grenade makes it better, in my opinion. So I am actually going to put this in the God tier category. This is, again, a perk that I run all the time, but I know a lot of people are kind of whatever to it. But this is one that is, in my opinion, the most underrated perk of, essentially, of all Call of Duty Zombies. If you ever get a chance to run this, I definitely recommend it. Zombshell, essentially just, every once in a while, it will create a little explosion, and then it'll create an orb that basically slows zombies down. Honestly, this is one of those perks that I'm going to put in fun but useless. It's not a bad perk, but it's just not one that everyone's going to run all the time. It's nothing wrong with the perk, but it's not one that's going to be in your original 4. If you end up getting it like Perk-a-Cola, then you're sitting there going, cool. But this is one that I really don't think anyone's going to be running in the original 4 anytime soon. Next, we got Blaze Phase. Blaze Phase, essentially, when you crouch, you essentially just charge up a little charge shot, I guess. And then once you uncrouch, it just flings you through zombies and killing them in their path. Again, this is one of those fun but useless perks. You're never going to run in your original 4. Really the only reason I would ever want this perk is if I get in Perkaholic, and it's just a fun way to like cheese new players, because you can sit there and go, I have a ring of fire around me, and they're sitting there going, what the hell is that? And then you just shoot out, and then they freak out about it. So this is just a fun way to cheese new players, but you're never going to run this in your original 4. It's a fun but useless perk. Secret Sauce essentially works like the Wonder Fizz in Black Ops 2 and 3. Essentially, instead of it being the Wonder Fizz machine, it just gives you a variety of whatever perks are available in Black Ops 4. So I'm going to put this in good, but I'm going to put it there. Again, you can either get a great perk or you can get a bad perk. So I think good is the spot for that there. And finally, Elemental Pop. Basically just gives you chances of getting another alternate ammo type, or any of the alternate ammo types in Black Ops Cold War. This is the only new perk in Black Ops Cold War. And again, I'm not going to go into all the tiers for it, because, I mean, tier 5 just gives you Electric Cherry. But Elemental Pop is good if you eventually have the money to pay for it, but it's not one that everyone's going to pick over Jug or Stamina Up or anything. Fortunately for Cold War, you can buy all the perks, but I mean, the perk price keeps going up and up and up. So this is not one that you're going to be running. Like, this is not going to be the first one to buy. That being said, it's still a very good perk, and I'm going to put it there. I think that that should be good. So yeah, that's essentially my ranking of every Call of Duty Zombies perk. Again, if you agree with what I had, be sure to hit the like button. Otherwise, let me know what you how you would rank the perks in the comments below. And be sure to check out all the links in the description, my zombie map tournament, my socials, all the fun stuff there. But that's about all I got for this one, and I'm going to end it there. This is B-RAD the Man signing out. Peace!